My name is Cassie and I'm the founder of Fatco, where we use these guys to make this stuff. Let me explain. At Fatco, we specialize in making natural and organic skin and body care products, many of which contain tallow. It's nutrient dense and healing. It's extremely high in vitamins A, D, K, and E, all super important for skin health. It's natural, it's healthy, and it's sustainable.
The fact that people are saying, oh yeah, when you're finals MVP, you are now the best player on the planet, to me, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all gotta start appreciating. And you gotta stop disrespecting this man. Stop disrespecting the man, because you know what? I'm changing the intro.
Oh shit.
It's not don't disrespect the man. It's now don't disrespect the GOAT. Because Jordan is just a man. MJ's just a man. We could call MJ a man. But when you are operating on a higher level and you are a higher power and your middle name is literally man, you can't say nothing to this anomaly. That is what LeBron Ramon James is. Argue with your mama. Now that's it, Mike. You're not gonna get a rebuttal. That's it.
No,
I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you disagree or not. No rebuttal for you.
Don't take my line.
It is not. I'm telling you, it is not Saturday. I swear to God, it's not Saturday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I made sure of it. It's Wednesday. I know you guys are shocked to see my mug, but I had to drag Mike here because Mike been ducking me. I've been messaging him. He don't like me no more. I'm just a side chick that gets slapped around whenever he's in town.
I mean, I heard what Cat Williams said about you, dog, and I just can't respect it anymore.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, by the way, camera's not messed up. Yeah, I cut my hair. I'm Steve Harvey now. I guess I'm a sellout, right? Call me Kevin Hart. I'm a plant. Golly, man. Yo, I watched that, by the way, before we get started.
I ain't gonna lie. I
couldn't keep up.
Listen, everything else, I enjoyed the ride for 99% of it, but there was one part that got me.
Which one?
And he was like, did you ever hear Kevin Hart before he just automatically got put on? And I was like,
damn.
He was like, how was he on the East Coast doing shows and on the West Coast doing movies at the same time? I was
like, well.
He was like, didn't we all just wake up one day and for some reason told ourselves to turn on Comedy Central and his special was on? And I was like,
nah, listen. And listen, I will say this.
I'm mad at it though.
The stuff he was saying, I don't know, man. It just sounded so like you know how usually when someone's babbling like that,
yeah,
you think they're on drugs or something?
Yeah.
He sounded literally
just
clean.
Yep.
He sounded like this is what I'm saying, and I mean it. There's no
like he has had that conversation a million times before.
Yeah, like this is something that he's been telling people for a while, and it's the first time he's been able to go on a platform and they welcome.
Yeah.
They welcomed that heat. They were like, yo, bring it. So
dude.
I
loved it. And I loved Cube's response too. That was pretty sick. And I was just like, I know this summer Rob and I are gonna have to go see Cube again. And you know, I gotta do my due diligence. You want to talk big three? I got a bigger question for you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, what's your real thoughts on that? But speaking of thoughts, Michael, this conversation right now is very divisive. The last game of the season, Saints was already beating the bricks off the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Last play of the game, Dennis Allen said, take a knee. And then,
makes sense.
Obviously, since Jameis, yes, of course, but obviously since Jameis Winston is the quarterback, it all kind of went on him. But they ended up giving it a run to Jamal Williams to give him his first and only touchdown this year. After last year, I think it was he led the league with 17?
17 broke Barry Sanders records, pardon me.
So this year, and by the way, before anyone says it's because he was a bum, injuries essentially forced this man to be their fullback.
Derailed.
So I just want to make sure that it's clarified because a lot of people were trying to make jokes saying this is why you don't pay him, blase. And it's like, well, hold on. They made this man play a different position and in essence be a blocker for a majority of it. So they gave him a rushing touchdown, last game of the season. Arthur Smith was mad, but I think he was mad because he knew he was going to get fired. Fucking bum, right? So he's butthurt. And Dennis Allen, this is the part that blew my mind. Instead of riding out for his boys, looks at him, and you can read his lips. I agree with you. So you agree with the man that's about to get fired? You agree with the man that had two times, had generational talents in Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, didn't want to use him. Running the offense through Drake London, Cordell Patterson, Desmond Ridder.
I like Red. I just don't think they use Red. It's hard.
No, he's trash. He's trash. That's it. No, stop. He's trash.
But wait. I want to make your point, though, right? It's really hard for Ridder to do well when you have Pitts and Bijan on the floor and you're not using them at all. You know what I mean? Like, how decent would he potentially look if Kyle Pitts was even a slither of that offense? You know what I mean? Like, he could make him look 10 times better.
I'm going to tell you this right now. He wouldn't look any better because the bozo was out here. Is out. Listen, y'all make fun about Tua Tagovailoa having a noodle arm.
I said nothing about Tua ever.
No. I'm just saying, like, there's this narrative that Tua got a noodle arm. What about Desmond?
I rock with Tua.
Yo, man out here goes, huh, and the ball goes a whopping 23 yards.
The only thing I said about anything Miami Dolphins this year was I was making a Fortnite joke about Tyreek's house burning down, but that was it. But Tyreek made it first. Tyreek posted, Peely from Fortnite. They got
they asked him who's his biggest op, and he said Peely. Yeah.
And then someone made a video of if you saw the Puss in Boots movie, there's like the Grim Reaper wolf, and he's like death.
Yeah.
He whistles when he's coming, and then they showed Tyreek's house, and the whistle started, and it was Peely just standing there. And Tyreek posted it. Tyreek was the one who made I was like, that was the only.
So that means you can say so. I got
if Tyreek said it's valid, it's valid.
Heard. But let me ask you a question, because this has been sparking great debate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest. A lot of people disagree with me.
Yep.
Now, my only issue that I have with this, the only issue is they came out in victory formation.
Yeah.
That's the only problem I have with it. I love the fact that Jameis, I don't know whose idea it was, but if it was Jameis Winston, I love the fact that he's saying we all decided. I love the fact that they actually cared about a teammate and was like, bro, this man sacrificed. Let's give him a moment. My only beef, don't do that in victory formation. At least line up and give the defense an opportunity. Don't line up in victory formation, because now what's going to happen, now next time they play and then Saints come out in victory formation, guess what's going to happen? Someone from the Falcons is going to bum rush, and it could lead to someone getting injured. That is my only beef with this at all. Listen, I love Shannon Sharp. We call him Unc for a reason. Man was out of pocket when he said that's a loser mentality. I would cut him today. That's corny. Because my thing is, hold on. Everyone is applauding Ryan Tannehill for helping D-Hop hit his incentives. And Ryan Tannehill came out and admitted, oh, yeah, no, there were some plays that I just kind of said, I don't care. And I changed it. He even said it. There were some plays I changed. He's like, what are you going to do?
Well, he knew he was out of a job, too.
Yeah, he was like, I know I'm out. So, and Mike, you got a fan here. Say what up to Harry.
What's up, big hair?
But am I out of pocket? Because, listen, me personally, I'm Team Jameis. I'm 100%. I'm rocking with him. I love it. That's something that you want in a teammate where, like, my coach isn't going to ride for me, but I got not my starter. I got my backup not only coming to bat for me, but then when it's time to answer the questions, he stood there 10 toes deep. Matter of fact, no, 11 toes. He probably got an 11th in there somewhere, right? He was 11 toes deep looking at everyone talking about, yep, this is what we did. And I don't regret a single thing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, Derek Carr doesn't do that. You know what I mean? Russell Wilson doesn't do that. Guys like that don't care. They paint this image of who they're supposed to be, but at the end of the day, and that's no shot at Derek Carr, but I mean, it's just the facts. You know what I mean? Guys like that. Aaron Rodgers isn't doing that. You know what? Actually, Aaron Rodgers now might do that, but Aaron Rodgers back in the day wouldn't do that. But guys who still believe they are bigger than what they are aren't going to make that play. And Jameis understands, what it means to be a backup. Jameis understands what it means to be derailed by injury. I mean, the man couldn't see out of his eye for how long of his life, and so he understands, the struggles and the trials and tribulations that come with playing in the NFL level. So I loved it, man. And I've always been a huge Jamal Williams fan. It hasn't changed whatsoever. Jamal Williams is my favorite running back in the NFL, and he still is. There's a lot of guys that, me, Pride. I mean, I was a Klay Thompson fan when no one uttered his name for 2 years. I was banging Klay's name. You know what I mean? So,
literally.
Pause. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I think was the correct decision. And I don't care if it was Jameis or not. Like, you got to stand 10 toes on it. And you got to understand one thing and one thing only. You were down 41 points regardless. You know what I mean? Like, so when I'm on the 1 yard line, and that was one of the more crucial parts, I'm not taking a knee on the 1 yard line, especially when you look at the point differential and the end of the season and the incentives, and especially for Jamal, which was just so there's no words to even put. I could sit up here and pause and take a minute to put together a sentence of what Jamal Williams' 2023 season was, but it was just exactly that. There are no words. I mean, a guy who had 17 touchdowns last year was the heart and soul of that Detroit Lions team to get done the way he did in exchange for David Montgomery. David had a hell of a year too. I believe he's 5th on Pro Bowl alternatives or something. He's a Pro Bowl alternative. He's a stud and he's a former Chicago Bear, and I give him the flowers. But I still feel like he was done dirty in Detroit. I was hoping he'd bounce back and show Detroit, hey man, I'm still that guy. It wasn't a 1 year thing. And he still could be that guy. It's just unfortunate of what happened. So for them to get together, I don't care if Chris Olave said it. I don't care if Alvin Kamara said it. I don't care if Winston said it. I don't care if Derek Carr told him to do it. Like, whoever said this is what we're doing, which I doubt it was Jamal. Out of it, if anybody, I doubt Jamal was probably the only one that did not care.
I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet that when they first told him, he said, "Nah, don't worry about it." And then 4, 5, 6 guys and says, "This is gonna happen. Deal with it." And I guarantee that's kind of when he relented and said,
I mean, Jamal's never been bigger than the team, and he's never acted like he's bigger than the team, and that's what I meant by that. But I think what that was just so special. And I'm a defensive guy. I played football all winter long. You saw me. I was out there in the trenches doing it, and man, at least 3 to 4 physical fights I got into this year, and every single time it was warranted. And I think when you have a situation like that and you're up 41-17, I've never been one of those guys, whether that's defensively or offensively, that have said, yo, man, like, that's not cool. Be better then. You know what I mean? Like, maybe don't give up 41 points. Maybe actually score more than 17 points. If it was 38-41, would you have cared? No. So, I mean, be better. That's all. You have Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Desmond Ridder, who else? Kyle Pitts, all these other guys. I mean, I know you're making a face, but you have capable guys here. You have guys who can score more than 17 points. Like, that's just being real.
Well, not only that, their defense is like
not enough.
I'm not saying it's enough for you to go out there and aggregate or dominate the league. Right. You got enough to not give up 40 plus to a Saints team that's not only banged up but been struggling to score the ball consistently the entire year
with a backup coach. Like, what do we,
right? Like, let's be honest here. So it's like, with all that, them giving up at the time, it was like, I think it was like what, 38? I think it was something like that. You're giving up 35 plus. You deserve to get scored on in the last 30 seconds and give up more. You deserve it.
I think they were already at 41 when that happened. I think it was 41-17. And that's one of my big things is, like, you got Joe Flacco out here giving Amari Cooper 200 yards a game. You're going to sit here and tell me that with everything you have, if you're Arthur Smith, and our next topic is going to be about the coaches and everything, so we're just going to get Arthur Smith out the way. I mean, you're a bum, like, respectfully. Like, I don't like saying that often, especially about guys in the league. You really have to earn it, or you have to just play in Chicago, and I'll automatically hate you.
I mean, there's 2 guys I know that's a bum right now, but
right. But when it comes to Arthur Smith, bro, I mean, yeah, bro, I shaved my mustache. That's gonna make the media like me, bro. No one cares. Like, be better.
Like, think about it, bro. I cut my hair. My wife still want to leave me. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do, bro. It doesn't matter. You're still dog. Like, you're still dog shit. That's just the reality of it.
You could have just ran tight end attack the entire season, and I would have gave you a pass.
Honestly, you run tight end attack, and if you want to give him a rest, halfback blast a few times, because you got 2 very capable guys.
I mean, even talking about like what they were able to do with the 2 tight end attack as well. I mean, Smith is a monster. I had Smith in fantasy, and my boy drafted Kyle Pitts, and I drafted the backup because I was like, I already knew. And the man won me fantasy games, no doubt. Like the man was keeping me in it, and to have both of them, and you can make an argument. Hey, listen, Pride, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be biased here. I have no allegiance with Kyle Pitts. Like if he has another coordinator come in here and another head coach and he still looks like nothing, maybe there's something we don't know. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's something going on. There's been so many tight ends taken so early that could be considered a bust. And the most recent one is Brock Bowers. A lot of people think he's going to be the next the next Tom Brady combination with Rob Gronkowski or the next Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. But other people say, hey, never really played anybody legitimate in college. So we'll see how it happens, whether that's with Justin Herbert or not. I think, please. But I made a take in the beginning of the season saying that Justin Herbert was better than Lamar Jackson. So I need Brock Bowers in. I didn't know.
I will say this. Hold on. I will say this.
I'm sorry.
I will say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If Brandon Allen is or Brandon Allen, what's that dickhead's name? Brandon Staley.
Yes.
If Brandon Staley is not there, letting the team give up, because we're just about Falcons. He wasn't letting that defense give up 40 plus. We got a different conversation. And name him
and Mac and
name him
Jackson. Like what
Derwin James.
Derwin James. Oh my God!
What are we doing here? Stop! What are we doing here?
Monsters. I literally picked them up in I never draft a defense in fantasy ever. Waivers, I don't care, bro. I took them in like the 6th round. I was like, money. Nope.
But that's why for me personally, because if you look at Justin Herbert's numbers and compare them to Lamar's, 9 times out of 10 you're taking Justin Herbert's numbers,
bro. Please.
But the reality is he's losing. People are blaming Justin Herbert, and my thing is, bro, I'm not gonna blame him if he's putting up 38. And the defense is giving up 42 because Brandon Staley's trying to play fucking engage 8, right. And it's 3rd and 2.
Right.
Horrible
offensive line as well. Like I mean, they're just bad. They got Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern, bums, but not Rashawn Slater, but Northwestern weirdos and bums. But yeah, man. I mean, I just not to get off topic, but I had to own that one this season. I ain't gonna lie. Damn. That one just kind of happened, and every time I click in the fantasy group chat, people are clowning me, and I'm just like, sorry. Sorry.
I mean, look.
Dude, you should have seen me, Pride, when Mark Andrews went down. I was like, oh, yes. Oh, I got it now. Y'all better be on y'all P's and Q's. Lamar's about to suck. And then Lamar was like, nah, prime OBJ. I was like, oh, shit.
I didn't think he had it in him, but apparently OBJ still had that dog in him. Yes. But I'm just glad you and I both agree because I feel like we're in a minority here where everyone is like upset about this. And I'm like, no, this does not make me upset in the slightest, right?
I think here's my last thing on it because I know we want to move on. But at the end of the day, who are you? Where do you work? Are you on the New Orleans Saints offense? Are you a part of that organization? Are you in that building every single day watching Jamal Williams rehab, watching him go through what he's gone through? You don't know this man personally. You don't know this man individually. Man, I bet you couldn't even tell me his middle name or where he was born. Like that's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
I didn't even know he had dreads.
Come on, man. Come on. He's the leader of I forgot what village he's the leader of, but he's the leader of that village.
Well, he says the Hidden Leaf Village.
Yeah. But no, I just think like as a teammate, I have been on both sides of watching someone go through something. And, from firsthand, I've talked to you about this, tearing my Achilles, tearing my bicep, concussions, the torn labrums, like what that does to you when you have that 0 next to it. Is 10 times worse. To end that season with a 0, yeah, sure, he makes millions, and people are going to make that comparison of, well, who cares? He made money at the end of the year. Yeah, but the surgeries, the mental fucking of what that occurs and what that means to get back to who you used to be, and Pride essentially losing your job starting because of that. There was a conversation. Maybe he still passes Kamara, and now going into next year, you have a new coach. We see RBs get cut all the time. What's going to happen? I don't know. But it's, I'm with it. And shout out to Jameis Winston for owning that when he didn't have to.
Yep. And that's a lovely point. Real quick to touch on Jamal Williams. This year across the board, receiving and rushing career lows.
Yep.
And for a new coach coming in, you can just look at that paper and be like, well, this kid is washed. Let's cut him.
Right.
And there's context behind it. Like, why did he have career lows? It wasn't because he wasn't available. Right. You guys made him play completely different. And like you said, big ups to Jameis Winston. Because, again, Jameis Winston, I think if I'm not mistaken, next year is his last year. And after that, who knows where he's going to go.
Exactly.
In his mind, he's like, look, bro, whatever it is what it is. It don't matter where I go. I know for a fact that when I leave here, I can say I made the best decisions, the best choices for the team. I know. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Then when I yell, I'm Hitler. I'm freaking Osama bin Pride because I'm yelling.
That was awesome, Joe. That shit just made my whole day. But no, I mean, I think you gotta think of who you want to be and the stories people will tell about you. Is Jameis Winston going to go down as a champion in the NFL? No. But are you going to be able to say Jameis Winston was a great teammate? 110%. And I felt that way when he was in Tampa. I felt that way when he was in New Orleans. There's only one incident of anywhere where anybody will say anything negative about him, and they own a lobster joint. But I would have did it too, to be honest.
On God. But speaking of head coaches,
so must be nice.
I mean, yeah, a little bit, Obviously, coaches are being kind of fired. Obviously, we're talking about Arthur Smith. Fuck him. Who gives a shit?
Yep. Brandon Staley, we're good. We don't got to talk about that.
Honestly, yeah. But honestly, the fact that they were employed gives me hope that
maybe we could do it.
Right, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like those apps that they tell you, hey, have you ever been a head coach? Pretty sure that's just an application to like apply or whatever.
Yeah, one time. Cool.
Yeah, one time I was doing it. But I just want to talk about the ones that kind of obviously were let go today, right? The two that were let go today. Obviously I do want to I'm gonna save your head coach dilemma for the final topic. And then obviously where we think they would go, and then also what other head coaches we expect to be gone. So the two, obviously, Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll. You had a very interesting take on the entire Mike Vrabel thing. And I think you and I we disagree, but we're as close to the center as you can possibly get.
Right. It's like I hear you.
Yes.
It's not an argument. It's never
at all. It's like I disagree,
right?
But I hear you. I know where you're coming from. Before you get into it, I just want to say this about Mike Vrabel. This is the vibe that I got from it. I got a vibe that Mike Vrabel went up to the organization, and the organization, they kind of started talking like, hey, this is what we should do. And Mike Vrabel was like, yeah, sure. And the organization was like, yeah, sure. And then they looked at each other and was like,
okay,
why do we do this? And the organization was like, you know what? You're right.
Right.
That's the vibe I got. I didn't get like he messed up or he was bad or anything like that. I think there's a time where you can just look at each other and go, you know what? I don't hate you. You don't hate me.
It's just time.
But it's time. Some people, it's a decade. Some people, it's 20, 30, 40 years. Other guys like him, I think it's only been, 8 years? I think it is, 6 years?
I mean, look at Pete. Pete was crying. Pete got fired, and he's crying. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's the thing. They quote-unquote fired him,
right?
But he's still with the team as an advisor.
Exactly.
But to your point, that means something because guess what? When he wakes up the first week of the NFL season, he's not on that sideline.
Right.
He's not out there. And Pete Carroll has always been, this is a story that everyone says, he knows you. Even if you're on the practice squad, he goes out of his way to know your name and something about you. What a time to be alive, man. What a time to be alive. Michael, obviously we know about Pete Carroll, how he's staying with Seattle. Mike Vrabel, give me some places he should land.
Oh, man. The Raiders first and the Raiders first and foremost. I think
I just asked, can you please stop? And my daughter just laughed in my face. So I think is it 8:00 yet? Just count down the minutes. Go ahead, my baby.
I think the Raiders are a good one. Just because of the mentality, just because of who they are. I just keep seeing the hop. It was the hop. It was the the Pixar lamp that just goes.
Yeah, that jumps over the eye and then it stops. Yep.
But no, I think the Raiders are a good spot for him. The mentality, what they bring, Raiders Nation, understanding that, whether you believe in the John Gruden era or not, that's a whole different conversation. But one thing that was said about him and how much Raider Nation loved him prior to everything that came out was because he was tough, because he was a guy who you could believe in, and that's who Mike Vrabel is. To your point, though, I think it's something that's really important and a great conversation about it. Is really just breaking down who Mike Vrabel is on a different organization. Now, I'll throw something at you, and I mean it with the utmost disrespect because I love him. He's one of my favorite coaches, but there's a reason why he's one of my favorite coaches, and it's because he doesn't have to do certain things. Mike Vrabel on the Tennessee Titans is what Dan Campbell would be and what he will be without Ben Johnson as offensive coordinator. And that's just what it is.
I don't know about all that now.
I mean, Mike Vrabel is a great defensive-minded guy, and the team loves him, and everybody loves who he is in the organization and the community. Dan Campbell's the same way. Great defense, a hard-nosed guy. I mean, a big-nosed guy, but a hard-nosed guy. And it's definitely a situation to where you want to love him. And when you have a great offensive coordinator there as well, we see it now with Nick Sirianni, what's happening since his offensive coordinator left last season. There's a lot of different changes. So what I saw from Mike was a failure to have consistent offensive play calling around him and legitimate offensive play calling around him, on top of someone that Pride once called the GOAT, Brian Tannehill, just not being anything more than average. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different conversations. There's a lot of
hold on. So
yeah,
you said Justin Herbert was better than Lamar.
Yes.
You catch your shit over there. Don't bring up something from like 2 years ago. And by the way, let me just say that first of all, when I called him Ryan Tannehill, it was satire. I think we all agreed here that it was satire. That's number one. Number two, at that time, he was a top 10 quarterback.
And then
at the time that I said
after you said it, he threw 3 interceptions in a playoff game.
But we don't. Okay, I said it
the next day. The next day. You know I know. Because I got my Travis Kelce Pfizer booster that same day, and while I was throwing up with a migraine, wondering why God punished me this way, I looked over at the TV, saw 3 interceptions, and I went, and I went back to dying.
Okay, just give me that. At the time, was I not wrong? Was I not right? At that, right before the playoff game.
You did a whole monologue about
LeBron
James being the greatest thing since pants were pockets, and now you're going to tell me that GOAT means top 10?
No. That's not what I'm saying. The reason why I called him, it's the same. Hold on. It's the same reason why I called Tua Tagovailoa. I don't think he's the best. But when you constantly pick out a guy and you try to make him sound worse than he is, I gotta make him sound even better to even it out, to cancel. That's it. That's all it was.
Quarterbacks in back-to-back years just to get the fuck.
And guess what? You did that, and of the 3 of them, who looks the best?
Throwing the ball, baby.
Who looks the best? Who looks the best out of the 3 of them? Don't bet against Ryan Tannehill, bro. We undefeated, bro. We undefeated.
But no, I like the Raiders a lot, Pride. I think. I mean. I would love to say the Chargers, but I just, because what he could do with that defense would be absolutely phenomenal. But what Justin Herbert needs right now is an offensive-minded head coach. I talk about it all the time. It's a revolving door. This goes with the Chicago Bears. This goes with really anybody who has a defensive-minded head coach. We see that with the Buffalo Bills. What happened to Josh Allen? Everyone's calling Josh Allen out. Everyone's calling Stephon Diggs out. No one wants to talk about the fact that this immediately after Brian Dable left, that offense just went to shit. And you wonder why. It's because Sean McDermott doesn't know anything about running an offense, and Brian Dable was holding that down.
No, I wouldn't say that. This is what I think the problem was. I think the problem was Brian Dable was like, I got a number one guy and Stephon Diggs, but I also have other guys that are just as good that I can kind of use them. And he kind of started thinking about certain plays for Gabe Davis, certain plays for Dawson Knox. He started thinking of certain plays for other guys.
I don't even know what happened to Dawson Knox. I mean,
he's not getting targets like that no more.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I don't think that Sean McDermott can't call plays. I just think he can't. Like, he's just okay. He's solid. He's just he's like middle of the road. He's not like a Brian Dable or an Andy Reid that can see the offense and goes, obviously we got our number one guy.
Right.
This guy cannot do what my number one guy can do.
Right.
But he can do something else. You know what I mean?
They did a lot better. And it's so weird, too, the way we saw it happen, because you and I talked about it when I said I wanted Dable to be the Bears head coach. This was 2 years ago. That's lovely.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive, and we're still fucking here. But with that being said, the one argument was, well, the Bills don't run the ball. And the Bills have done a great job at running the ball since. But I will say this, to that argument, I've also seen Brian Dable run the ball extremely well with both Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. I mean, Daniel Jones was not a mobile quarterback before Brian Dable walked into that room. He was all right. He was athletic.
But to your point, though, they're not running no quarterback sneak.
That man got Danny paid, bro. I'll tell you that much. That man got Danny Dimes paid.
And to your point, though, and to your point, that also kind of goes to show, like, why did they not run the ball?
Right.
Because now now to me,
let me stop you really quick.
Go ahead.
This out. I don't want to ever cut you off. This is your show. Do you know the height of Devin Singletary? At the time, he is RB1. Don't look it up. Look at me straight in my shit.
I remember them saying it on a broadcast. He's like what, 5'9", 5'10"?
I believe he's 5'7".
5'7".
So you were asking me why we didn't run the ball?
I'll tell you why, though. We still got Zach Moss.
Exactly.
At the time, you had Zach Moss,
and they didn't Zach Moss, though. You know what I mean? Like, developing wise.
So I wouldn't say that he was the guy that you see him
right,
like in Indy, but you knew that he was it was supposed to be a thunder and lightning, where Devin Singletary was supposed to be the halfback stretch guy, the guy that you need a speed guy.
It's like Gibbs and Monty right now.
Exactly. That's what it's supposed to be. You got one or Tony Pollard and Zeke.
Right.
Before Zeke became truly washed.
Tariq Cohen, Jordan Howard, stuff like that.
Right, where you got your thunder and your lightning. But the problem was they never used them in the thunder and lightning fashion. They're trying to run a halfback blast right up the freaking C gap with Devin Singletary. I'm like, what are you doing? You got Zach Moss there literally picking his nose because he's bored.
He's vibing.
Yeah, he's just vibing.
I think it was hard, too, for him to be like, why use either of them when Josh Allen is a combination of both? Because Josh hits the fuck out of people. Like, I would give Josh Allen that.
But you don't want your quarterback doing that.
My boy Justin Fields, listen. My boy Justin Fields takes some hits. That man is defenseless. Josh, this is Justin's better, 10 times better as a runner. I had to make that running part clear. But when it comes to who wants that smoke, it's Josh Allen. And for a guy who, and God bless him, right? Knock on wood. A guy who hasn't sustained real injuries because of it either. Like, the other guys do it, and it's like labrum out, knee out, finger.
Remember when Matthew Stafford used to do it, and he would get hit, and then like would either his shoulder would be messed up, or he would get up and he would walk like he's drunk.
Did you hear? And you know what, we have such a great time when we do shows together. I miss Tony. I wonder what Tony's doing now. But did you hear that if you go to the Lions game this weekend, you cannot wear a Detroit Matthew Stafford jersey?
Yes.
How do you feel about that banning in particular? Because I remember the year was 2015. I'm 15 years old, diehard Blackhawks fan. I'm before the Dark Ages began, but shout out Connor Bedard. But now he's hurt, so the Dark Ages are back.
Hey, I was about to say, you sure you want to say shout out to him right now at this moment?
Dude, I have front row seats behind the goal right behind the goal for February 9th or something. My boy gets free tickets every year, and he said, "Yeah, we'd love to bring you over again." I was
And
like,
the kid was a fucking stud too.
Next
Kid
day,
was a fucking stud, man.
but yeah. Anyways, though, where was I? Oh yeah, you grow up and you have those conversations about Nashville is not letting any Blackhawk fan wear Blackhawks apparel in a playoff game in Nashville. Just not happening, and you felt that. But in a situation like this, I mean, what he did for Detroit, bro, and like, where are you at with that disrespect? Because the Stafford, you saw his wife posted. She was like, "Man, that's crazy because we have so much love for Detroit. It's never anything negative. Like, we still got love for Detroit." I'm just saying.
And it's so when I first saw it, swear to God, I thought it was a troll. Swear.
I thought it was. I thought it was a petition. I thought it was like.
I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's a minority of fans that are butthurt because Matt Stafford isn't there. Maybe they're whatever.
Right.
But when I found out that it was legit, a couple things hit my mind. First of all, this is the reason why no one will ever truly respect the Lions because of stuff like this. It is stupid that you guys traded him. And when y'all traded, it wasn't like he made a fuss about it.
That was him. That was him and McVay that kind of had that conversation. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Stafford actually came to the organization and was kind of like, "I want to leave." And they were like, and I respected it.
But the thing is at the time, remember, the rumor was that the Lions were planning on drafting a quarterback.
Right.
And Matthew Stafford was like, "Hold on. If y'all want to replace me, that's all. It's fine. Just let me know because I'm not in the mood to be on the bench with a few years left on my contract. And now I'm stuck doing fuck all because I got to wait on y'all to trade me. Why don't we
you got to play babysitter the next 3 years."
Yeah. He's like, "Why don't y'all just move on from me now?" And we hug, we kiss, we move on. And hey, I'll catch you later down the road. So it's not like it was an ugly breakup. If anything, it was mutual.
Right. It was a beautiful thing. I was the one time I really gave them their flowers.
Yes.
Because I've watched this man battle against the monsters of the Midway defense with Brian Urlacher, Peanut Tillman, Lance Briggs, Tim Jennings and company. Then I watched him go up against guys like Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson, Clay Matthews, and a bunch of other cats over there in Green Bay.
My thing was,
Minnesota was never anything but.
I would watch him.
Oh wait! No, I'm not gonna do that. Someone's gonna clip me. Adrian Peterson on the Vikings as well. I'm not gonna say. Sorry, I forgot AP was a thing for a second.
Yeah.
I apologize. They had AP.
Now you're right. Now they had him before he beat the shit out of his kid or got caught for it.
Hey man, a couple more hops around that couch.
Listen, man, I'm an international hater, bro. You give me a player.
Might turn off, and I might just have to start talking to save time.
But nah, listen.
Just mute yourself, Kat, because I can't help you with the audio on. I could yell as loud as. Oh shit! There she go.
No, that's she.
Run!
But I'm gonna say this. But this is why I would never. It's hard for me to respect the Lions because, like I said, it never was once bad, right? And about everybody was saying they never protected him. They never cared about getting an offensive line. Every time this man needed help, they ignored him.
Do you have Calvin Johnson? You should be happy with it. That's what it was.
That's really what they said, right? And then they was like, "Oh, I need help. Oh, you want help? Let's get you Brandon Pettigrew." Which I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Brandon Pettigrew was a bum, but they try to sell this motherfucker. He try to sell him like, "Hey, yo, this is Shannon Sharp in his prime. Here you go. No, babes, knock the fuck off."
Right.
My issue is why the man didn't bash you. He didn't say anything negative. He handled it in the most nice way possible. Fuck is the point?
Do you think? Okay, so was this Detroit organization or was this Dan Campbell?
100%. It was Detroit. 110%.
You don't think it was Campbell? Because it sounds like a Campbell mentality.
No. And I understand why it would sound like that.
Right. It's like a fuck 'em kind of thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
because again, remember how he had his press conference, the introduction one, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Frankie says that you look like you're wearing a do-rag because you got your hat on backwards. So
like that.
And you want to know what's funny? Look at that. I like his profile picture. It's Juan Soto, Aaron Judge. Is that Garrett Cole?
It is.
All that just to be the fucking Dodgers and fucking lose. Lols.
Wait,
Speaking of which,
you think they're going to the World Series?
who?
You're crazy. Well,
Out of your mind.
In order to see the Dodgers, you have to go to the World Series. They ain't going to the World Series.
No, they're not. They're not. Not only they're not winning the World Series, the Dodgers ain't even gonna make it.
They might be in the emergency room or like in physical therapy, like watching the Dodgers play in the World Series, but they're not gonna be playing again. Especially those three.
Within the first month, Aaron Judge's gonna be holding his leg, talking about my shoulder hurts, and we're gonna be looking at her like, huh? Right? Carlos Stanton is gonna take a warm. He's gonna be at BP, swing, blow out his back.
It's like
right?
45 now. Yeah.
Everything, and then Garrett Cole's gonna be looking around like, yeah, let me fake an injury because at this point I don't want to do this anymore. And he's just gonna be like, I'm done.
Give me the DeGrom treatment. Give me the fuck out of here. Like.
Facts, yo. But now, listen. For me, I don't understand that. And you're saying you think it's a Campbell move. At first, it kind of sounded like
it is. I'm just saying the math's not mathing to like a year ago. We want you to go win a championship. We love you. Eminem's at the fucking Super Bowl. All of Detroit's at the Super Bowl. We're lit. We're lit in LA. Matthew Stafford won a championship, so we won a championship. Okay, it's it was the first Lion to be at a fucking Super Bowl since Katy Perry railed that bitch coming out at the halftime show. Like that's really what it was. So for that to change so quickly,
and I'm gonna tell you why it's not Dan Campbell.
I just don't get
Two reasons. First of all, I have never ever heard Dan Campbell ever say anything like that to the fans in terms of because they played the Rams before. Never. Has he ever said
this magnitude though? You know what I mean? Like, it's not playoff football. So I think that's kind of like
no, because you can't just set a precedent like that for playoff football when you haven't done it before, right? Now, if you want to go talk to your team and say, look, I understand some of y'all are cool with him, and I'm not mad, but during the game, you do not speak to him, you do not act like a cool. If he says like that, it's fine. I cannot see Dan Campbell telling the fans, yo, you go to the organization, you better tell these motherfuckers they better not pull up, because I swear to God, I will go up to them and I'll bite their kneecap. And by the way, hold on, time out. Hey, yo, Captain Dickhead, we're not even in the middle of January. You bacalao? What are you talking about? You kumquat? Just for that, in March, you're going to be seeing that tree. Now I got me hot. I'm so hot, my butt sweating.
No one said nothing about my reef.
I'm saying, bro. I know why they called me out. Do the math. Do the math. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Oh. Oh.
Bro, Raggy.
What did I get caught up in?
But and then the second reason why I don't think it was him. Let's say for the sake of argument that he went up to the organization and said that. No shot the organization is going to let Dan Campbell make those type of decisions.
Right.
Unless they themselves wanted it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, think about it.
He could have petitioned it, and they at the end of the day, they have to like.
Right. So my thing is like, so let's say for the sake of this argument, Dan Campbell did say it. They must have thought about it at some point.
Right.
Because if they didn't think about it, then they would have been like, look, respectfully, bro, you're out of your mind. But they didn't do that. So my thing is like, if I'm a Detroit fan, guess what I'm doing? I'm cheering for Detroit, no problem.
Right.
I'm pulling up in a Matthew Stafford shirt.
Dude, I might
pull up in a Rams jersey and tell someone to stop me.
Right. I'm literally the thing is, they don't care if you pull up in a Rams jersey. They care if you pull up in a Detroit Lions Matthew Stafford jersey. So what I'm doing, I'm pulling up in a Jared Goff Lions jersey, and underneath that jersey is going to be a Matthew Stafford Lions jersey, and I'm streaking on the field.
And guess what I'm gonna do after that? Guess what I'm gonna do after that? When they tell me to take it off, guess what? I'm gonna take it off and I'm wearing his pants. Because you said I can't wear it on my body. I'm wearing them as pants. I'm wearing his pants. Pants.
Look at a tattoo.
Oh God, bro!
On the back,
Stafford 9, and under it, I'm gonna say Rams. I swear. Man, I'll get the word fucking Lions tatted on my chest.
Oh my
Play
God.
with your mama, not with me. Play with your mama, not with me. I don't know what they on, bro.
It's crazy. It is.
I real talk. I don't know what they on.
Yeah, the coaching stuff though. I mean,
yeah. Before we move on,
yeah.
There's
anything else?
I want to give you a couple head coaches.
Okay.
And I want you to let me know right now.
Really quick though, Pride. I love how like we don't give a fuck respectfully out of any of these coaches being fired, and we just had like a 10-minute segment on Matthew Stafford, and we just talked about a jersey for 15 minutes instead of talking about anything Brandon Staley or Arthur Smith has going on. We don't care.
We're not gonna fuck about them. 100%.
Long podcast. If y'all wanted that, I don't know where y'all can find it. I'm sure Arthur Smith.
First of all, if you're wondering about them, sports ain't your thing. Let's just throw it out there. But I'm gonna name you.
Hit me with it.
He says, I can't tell you how many ways. 1, walls are clean as hell. 2, probably got a haircut because it's too hot. And then again, because he said, because I'm in Florida now. Well, okay, first of all.
Are you in Florida now?
Yeah. Wow. I'm officially in Florida, bro. This right here, believe it or not, this right here, right? Yeah. Believe it or not, that's a private patio. I'm bougie.
Wow.
I'm bougie as fuck right now, bro. No one can tell me nothing. You said what?
Huh?
I hit myself, and then I blame somebody. I blame the old guy who was too senile, didn't know what was going on. So I was like, yeah, baby.
You know what I hate about Pride? Because I do the same thing, so I acknowledge when he does it. He'll hear what I said and then say, you said what? Even though he heard me. Like,
because I want you to say it again.
He'll be like, what'd you say? Just so I say it louder. But I'm like, you heard what I said. Like, fuck. 100%. Myself.
So I'm
stand on mine, the fuck.
So I'm going to list a couple coaches for you.
Hit me. Wait, and then we didn't talk in terms of what? Like just getting fired?
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
So you got 3 options. Mm-hmm. You can either fire them, give them 1 more year, or extend them for a minimum of 3 years. So fire, 1 more year, or extension, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a couple guys who, obviously we're not gonna talk about the Bears yet because that is not the event, right? Obviously,
no matter what I say.
Number 1, Bill Belichick. That's a thinker, ain't it? Because me personally, for all the flack he's getting, defensively, which is his strong suit, this team defensively is holding their own. So I would, if he tells me, man, I want to move on, I'll let him go.
Yeah.
I would say 1 more year, but the caveat is, you got to pick between being the head coach and the GM. You doing 2, it was adorable, it was cute, but now you need to pick one or the other.
This is a lot more than adorable. That shit was insane. But
nah, it was terrible. It was tragic, bro.
But
I'm giving him 1.
See, because here's my reasoning for it, right? Next year, I think you fire him. Mm-hmm. Not because of what Bill's done with this defense, more so what he's done with his general manager. But Mac Jones shit was forced. You can't tell me it wasn't. But that was like a helping out Nick Saban kind of thing. Which, by the way, shout out to Nick Saban.
Yeah, he retired today.
We're talking about coaches being fired. That man was on his way to being fired, and he went out gracefully. So shout out to him. Couldn't keep up with the NILs. It just happens sometimes. GBO, fuck them. But with that being said, though, my thing with Belly is the big issue is your hirings of offensive coordinators. I could get behind, okay, I want to draft Mac Jones. I want to do this. I want to do that. But at the end of the day, bro, you hired Matt Patricia to be the offensive coordinator. Yeah. You did that. You, as the general manager and the head coach, co-signed that twice. You looked at yourself and said, is that a good idea? Well, yes, it is. Okay, cool. We're doing it. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? So with that,
I was kind of hoping you wouldn't bring that up.
I have to. That's literally my only reason to. It's time. You know what I mean? Like I hate the argument of, oh well, that was the era of Tom and that era needs to go. And why? Championship eras need to go. Like championship culture needs to leave. That's never a good idea.
Ever.
Unless they truly didn't earn it. But you can tell me. Listen, respectfully. Bruce Arians as a champion, Brian Leftwich as a champion, as coaches. Okay, cool. You got it for the one time with Tom. But, bro, 6 of them things is not all Tom. Like, respectfully. I love Tom.
I've always said it was 50-50. 110%. I always felt that. I felt like Tom took care of the offense. Mm-hmm. Bill took care of the defense. And it worked. That's how I always felt.
I would even listen respectfully. No disrespect to Tom, but I would say it's 60-40 because Bill's also the one constructing the roster. Like that's
and that's true. That's true. So if you want to say that, I won't even be mad at you.
You're the GM too. You were constructing championship teams, not only coaching championship teams. So all respect to Bill, but my point of it all is, if you truly want change, Pride, this is the year for it. Mike Vrabel has amazing ties to the New England Patriots organization. You could definitely bring him in, and I think that'll be perfect. There's also guys, it's not going to happen, but there's guys like Pete Carroll. There's guys like Eric Bieniemy. There's guys like Jim Harbaugh and so many others, Ben Johnson, who are available. Who's available next year? Matt Eberflus? You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's what I'm saying. So you have a plethora of head coaches that are now potentially available. I don't see that happening again. So my point is, once they hire Arthur Smith as the head coach of the New England Patriots and Pride is losing his mind hanging from the Christmas tree.
Literally.
You're going to see someone jumping off the couch, all right. What?
Yeah, it's going to be me this time. Dead on my neck, bro. Nah, bro, get out of here, bro. No. Honestly, if that, no.
You go, girl.
Nah,
every time Pride looks up, she goes behind the chair. I love it.
Yo, she just went into like a fetal position, just like, and it was just like, if I don't move, he won't see me.
Yeah.
Yo, this is crazy.
Then you just hear the belt.
I'm a catcher. But now, look, I mean, here's my thing. So I get why you would say that.
Right.
I understand. Like I said, for me, it's a 1-year thing to see how everything kind of pans out. Now, again, I'm a little biased when it comes to this because once Bill Belichick leaves,
right,
it truly is going to be like a brand new era, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, when that happens, it's like right now, it's okay for me to cling on the championships. Yeah, it's okay because Bill's here. Once Bill is gone, I think for me that's when it's gonna, because again, Tom ain't around either. So now it's gonna be like, what do you do? Yo, where do we really go?
Right. And that's where I'm at with Mike Vrabel. Is like, okay, so you're gonna bring him in. He has that championship pedigree. He has the ties to the organization. He knows the staple of what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to look like. And I think that's perfect. I really do. I think it's going to be something for me to where, you can build a culture that is its own, but is also the same standard of success. It reminds me so much of like when we talk about Pat Riley with the Lakers and then going to the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? Like it's you sustain that. I hear you, but you sustain that success and you understand, what you want to do and the tone you want to set. And I think this is the year that you can get multiple guys who have that type of mentality. Next year, you don't know who's getting fired. You don't know who's going to be available. And it's even harder for me to take a chance on Kraft by himself without anybody legit next to him. Because with Tom gone, with Bill gone, and then let's say, shits and giggles, Arthur Smith is the interim coach in between that year gap for a tank year, let's say.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, Kraft is taking so much heat, and it's not even funny. I mean, it's over. It's over.
So before I forget, because you said about Pat Riley, big ups to him. He waited to pay Eric Spoelstra till after the fucking
head off to
lost. Yeah, I ain't gonna cap. So big ups to him. Still fuck him, but big ups to him.
Hey, shout out to him. That's love.
Yes, sir.
I know she's shaking right now.
Oh, she bought her right now. She's like, Eric, let's try one more time. Watch. And Frankie, I think Frankie and I have the same logic. And if he wants to continue being the head coach,
right,
you got to give up the GM,
right.
Whether or not that happens, we'll see. I'm giving him one more year to see if he's content just being the head coach.
What if it was the other way? No. Would you take what if he was like, I don't want to be the head coach, but I'll be the GM?
I'll take that too. I don't mind taking that too. I wouldn't mind.
Is that nice? Respectfully, yes. Because I'm not saying the Bears do great, but
yes,
you think he's okay at that right now, or would you say it's been failing?
He's great. The only issue he has is getting a quarterback.
Right.
Because Ramondre, who got Ramondre?
Right.
That was Bill, right? What's that young kid we had? What's that young kid we had? Christian Walker, I think his name is. That young defensive back we had. That was a stud before he got hurt. Who drafted him?
I have his rookie card. Christian Hernandez?
No. We don't say Hernandez around there anymore.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, it was Gonzalez. Yeah, him. Like that kid was he was a stud.
I
He
just
was
got
only
racist as hell and called someone Hernandez when he's in Gonzalez. That's crazy.
100%. 100%.
Sorry.
No,
To
no, no.
the
But no,
community.
if you look at his picture, he looks like a killer. So I get why you would say Hernandez. But I mean, like, who drafted him? Right? Like a lot of these guys he's drafting are great in our system. So if Bill tells me, because think about this.
Another guy.
Imagine Bill Belichick is the GM. And here's another great name. He didn't draft him, but Bill Belichick said, "Hey, yo, we got to go get Matthew Judon." And this is after not only did Matthew Judon had a great year, but remember, a lot of teams were kind of afraid. We think he's going to fall off the cliff. And Bill Belichick said, "Yo, you out your fucking mind." And now look at him. Right. Sensational, right? So for me, if he's the GM, because imagine him as the GM, and we get, I don't know, fuck Nick Saban, fuck that piece of shit. I don't fucking want him here. But Matthew Vrabel,
bad in the NFL, very bad. I mean, it's been a while, but still very bad.
No, he'll be worse. He'll be worse. Okay, he
Well, why would you even? I mean, you got two defensive-minded guys. I mean, we already did that shit with Matt Patricia. We're not doing that again.
No. As the head coach, I'm talking.
Oh, as the head coach. I mean,
because I'm no. If I'm Bill Belichick, I'm not bringing him in as an assistant.
I mean, could you imagine though, like the conversations between Saban and Belichick at the NFL level? Like at this point, I mean,
I'm talking like Vrabel. I'm not talking about Saban. I said fuck Nick Saban.
You can ride Vrabel. I'm down with Vrabel.
All right, so here's another one I'm gonna give you. This one, I think his seat is hotter than people want to admit. Doug Peterson.
I think it's an interesting one.
Go ahead.
I think 2 to 3 year extension. And the reason I say it is because it's Jacksonville. Like, you're just happy to have it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to get any better. No one's coming to Jacksonville. No one's going to be the Messiah. And I also don't think they were as bad as a lot of people thought they were. I think they definitely have made mistakes. But I will say Calvin Ridley's first year in the NFL after missing an entire season, I think he did pretty decent. The one thing I think that a lot of people missed out on is I don't think Trevor Lawrence has been the guy that a lot of people expected him to be. That's the thing. And I think if Trevor Lawrence is a top 3, top 5 quarterback in the NFL in year 3, you have those conversations. Like, who would you say is better right now, Tua Tagovailoa or Trevor Lawrence?
You got me there, but then again,
like Doug is at the end of the day, Doug's champion. You know what I mean? No matter how you feel. Are you going to get better than a recent champion head coach in Jacksonville? I would give him an extension just to let him continue to build that culture. And if it don't work out, that's just, you reap what you sow. And I think that's what you got to do.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Last one. And damn, Frankie said Mac is still better than Trevor, and Mac has been asked last 2 seasons.
That one's cap. That one's crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure cap. That's for sure cap. This is the last one.
Love the energy.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of energy, Robert Saleh. And I'm going to be honest here. I say fire. And I'm not going to say fire because he's bad or anything. But a part of being a good head coach is managing a roster.
Right.
And when you have Garrett Wilson throwing more bitch fits than George Pickens, you have a problem.
Crazy.
That's wild to me.
George is valid. No cap. George.
No, fuck. No. Because George is double team and giving up on the route and crying like a fucking baby. So I don't want to hear nothing about George Pickens on this show. I don't want to hear nothing about it.
I hear you. It's just when I look at Trubisky, Rudolph, and Pickett, I go, oh yeah, I'm pissed. I'm hot. I'm livid.
But this is my problem with Robert Saleh. He handled the entire situation, just the entire quarterback situation. He kind of botched it. I just feel like there was a lot of things he could have done. That, and I understand Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. Yeah, that hurts you big time. I get it. But when you're starting to lose the locker room to the point where you're 2 games away from you getting Dennis Allen, yeah, partner, I think it's time for you to, explore other ventures.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think when you bring in a defensive-minded guy like that, you're looking for a top five defense, and that's not what you've seen from the New York Jets whatsoever. They have the pieces, they have a great defense, and you bring in a guy like Aaron Rodgers for that exact reason, so you can focus on the defense and he can focus on the offense. Now, in turn, when you get guys like Zach Wilson back in the building, and deny greatness like Joe Flacco, damn, but you see that and you go, why are we in the situation that we're in? And I think, when Aaron's off the field, that's when you start to have problems. So I unfortunately, as much as I hate saying, yeah, it's up to Aaron, it really is. I think at the end of the day, if Aaron Rodgers wants a new head coach, I think they're going to give him that. I personally would say one more year, but you definitely have to keep an eye out on it. I just saw the other day that, we got some news, Pride. Garrett Wilson changes his number to number 5. Devontae Adams coming to New York. Who knows? We'll see what happens. If that happens, I think no one's talking about Robert Saleh, because as long as you're winning, no one's talking about you. That's really what it comes down to. So I would say one more year, and specifically one more year, just because I believe after next season, Aaron Rodgers is probably going to retire. And then you're fucked, because then you're just going back to being, I'm Robert Saleh. I don't have a great defense, and I don't know what I'm doing offensively.
What a guy. Sensational.
If Zach Wilson was the QB1 for next year or any other quarterback, I'd be like, all right, gotta go, bozo.
LOL. Michael, Chicago Bears, you guys are in a very, very interesting spot right now. Mm-hmm. And I believe that this is going to be the most pivotal point in the Ryan Poles era. I genuinely believe that. I think all the decisions that he's going to make this offseason and going into this season, I think this is going to make you either officially love him or hate him, whether he's really here. Because remember, he was talking about change in his introductory press conference. Is he really about it, or is he just another flash in the pan guy who said the right things but won't do it? So I told you I'm going to play devil's advocate. I want you to explain to me. We're going to go step by step, right? We're going to go step by step. So you're already late, right? They doubled down on Matt Uber Duber Goofy Goober head ass over there. Okay? They doubled down on him. Why? I don't know. And I think you probably have the same reaction as me. Well, no, because you probably were punching the air. I laughed because I was like, Omega Lol, that's not my organization. So I was chilling. I was big chilling. But let me ask you with this. You guys have the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
The number 1 from Carolina. What would you do with that pick?
Marvin. Fuck him. I don't want the picks. I'm proving a point. Like, and that might be my Achilles heel. Mm-hmm. No pun intended, because I don't really have one. But lols. Remains on a softball field in Chicago. But I think I wouldn't go anywhere further than 2. Like that's if you're trading down, I'm drafting Marvin at 2, and I have to know that team that I traded with, whether it's New England or Washington or LA, whoever, is taking a quarterback, because I'm drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. Now I have 2 scenarios in my mind. The first one is that one with Justin Fields. I have the number 1 overall pick and the number 9 overall pick. For me personally, that's just where I'm at with it. I believe in Justin Fields. I've been watching this kid since I was 15. We're in the same graduating class. He was the guy I always looked up on Max Prep Sports. Him and Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Hero, Zion, Ja, all those guys. Those were the guys I looked up to. Those were the guys we all wanted to be. And, to see him in Georgia and to see him in Ohio State and to see what he was able to do on the Netflix series, and also just watching him as a Chicago Bear. I mean, that's the guy I want to win with. There's no ego in it. Like, Justin is Justin at the end of the day. Justin at any point in time could have said Luke Getz, he doesn't know his head from his ass, and he wouldn't have been wrong. And we honestly were all waiting for him to do that. And he kind of did do that at one point, but then he even said, like, yo, don't separate us. Like, we'll hug it out, kumbaya, PR stunt, whatever. But at the end of the day, we understood that, like, bro, against the Green Bay Packers, you ran the ball 6 times in a row and couldn't get a first down. That is Luke Getsy's offense. So I believe in Justin. I really do. What's unfortunate is this will technically be his 4th offensive coordinator in 4 years, technically, because Bill Lazor took over in the second half of Nagy's final year, and that's complicated. But if we have the number 1 and number 9 overall pick, if it's available to trade down 1 spot or even 2, I'm getting Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair up with DJ Moore and Justin Fields. If Pride to that point though, if not, I'm not into the whole trade him for a 2nd round pick. If you're trading Justin Fields, cool, that's fine, but I'm not trading him for a 2nd round pick. I've said it immensely the last 48 hours. I don't know why I thought this, but I was just sitting there. I was watching Meet the Robinsons. Do you remember that movie?
Yes, sir.
Keep moving forward. And the Bears haven't seen that movie because we keep fucking going back to 1985. Don't know why,
Yes,
but we are. But with that, you talk about what the Houston Texans were able to do with both C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. They traded up to get Will Anderson. And that was something for me to where I'm like, I could see the Bears doing the same thing. We keep talking about the Bears trading the number 1 overall pick, but let me throw you this one. The Washington Commanders, who just fired Ron Rivera. Shout out Ron Rivera, 85 Bear. You have a situation right now to where Eric Bieniemy might become the head coach of that organization. Eric Bieniemy doesn't want to deal with a rookie quarterback. He's ready to win now. He's ready to prove that he can be that guy. Come on. You don't think so?
He may want to, but that roster is nowhere near ready to win. This isn't a roster that's even winning 500, especially when you just gutted your best player in Chase Young.
Exactly. But I will say this. I think he's ready for a quarterback that can actually produce something right now. So what I see from that is a still rookie contract, Justin Fields, and the number 9 overall pick. You remain in the top 10. You trade that for the number 2 overall pick. If the Bears are moving on from Justin Fields, I could see them trading number 9 and Fields for number 2, and then you can go back to back Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. Boom. If that's how you want to do it, that is the only way, Pride, that I'm willing to trade Justin Fields is if you get another top 3 pick. Because if not, if you don't use that number 9 pick and Justin Fields, if not, bro, and you just tell me, yeah, bro, we drafted another corner. Because we don't know if we're going to pay Jalen Johnson.
Stupid as fuck.
Oh, Pro Bowler?
I do get your point. If I'm gonna be 100% honest here. I'm gonna be 100% honest here. So obviously, Washington will probably get a quarterback,
right?
And New England will probably get a quarterback. Here's where it's kind of tricky to me. I do not draft Marvin Harrison unless I give Justin Fields an extension.
Oh, I have to. I mean,
that's the only
5th-year option. You know what I mean? Like
no. I'm not. I'm talking about I'm tearing up his contract and I'm giving you a 4-year deal effective immediately. Ain't no maybe, ain't no options or team options, none of that. Because, and I said this before, I love Justin Fields. Justin Fields is my guy. I was hoping we was going to draft him. We didn't. Fuck my life.
You were right there, though. You were right there.
Man,
remember when the Bears were on the clock and all they kept showing was Mac Jones? I was shitting, bro.
And I was leaning back. I was like, okay. I was like, if there's one organization that'll fuck this up, it's Chicago. I'm like, all right. And then I heard Justin Fields, and I was like, cool, whatever. Football. I was like, football's not my thing anyway. But so I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna tell you the top 10 teams right now.
Okay. So is this the draft order?
Yeah, this is the draft order right now.
Okay.
So number 1, Chicago, Washington, New England, Arizona, Chargers, Giants, Tennessee, Atlanta, Chicago again at 9, and then Jets. The only way I draft, I'll have Marvin Harrison 1. I don't care. I'll take him 1 if I'm Chicago.
I'm fine with that.
But you got to give Justin Fields an extension.
Right.
Because now you're expecting him in 1 year to not only try to continue to build off what he had with DJ Moore, but also build something with Marvin, with, like you said, another offensive coordinator who's going to come into the situation and be like, fuck am I supposed to do?
Right.
Because if you're listen, this is one thing about being an offensive coordinator. If you're an offensive coordinator, and a lot of them have said this, it is very hard to really try to make a plan when your quarterback is not. He doesn't know, yo, am I going to be here next year? Because it's hard to get them to buy in.
Right.
So me personally, that's what I would do.
The one for me that I'm really looking at right now is Greg Roman. When you talk about the offensive coordinators, he's the offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, and that it's a if in that case, if we don't get Greg Roman, or if we don't get, obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. and we trade Justin Fields, I don't fucking want Greg Roman. I have no allegiance to Greg Roman. But what I see from that is a guy who saw an offense with Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, OBJ, and Flowers, and was able to get them all to be the best versions of themselves. When I see that, I go, okay, cool. We have Cole Kmet, top 5 tight end in many statistics. You look at DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., Justin Fields. Okay, you can make comparisons to the play styles between him and Lamar. So I would love Roman to be the offensive coordinator. The only problem with that is, again, like we always talk about, why would I leave what already works with the Ravens if I'm not going to be the head coach? That's my only, again, it's my big problem with defensive-minded head coaches is the revolving door of OCs and other OCs not wanting to take the job because, Brad, why would I leave my job with the Ravens when we just went 13-3 with an MVP Lamar Jackson for the Chicago Bears, who are the Chicago Bears? So that's my problem.
Unless he has, full control. By the way, right now with how these are one of the mock drafts, and this is how most of the mock drafts really have you guys going. Obviously, they have you guys going Caleb Williams, number 1.
Right.
Now, obviously, they have, how I'm looking at it, they got Marvin Harrison going 4th to the Cardinals.
Jay wishes.
Which is a possibility.
It's a possibility, but
now here's the reality. If you guys don't get Marvin Harrison, a lot of people are predicting that you guys are going to get the next best receiver. Adunze. I don't. Every time I try to say his name, I stutter.
I don't know if it's Adunze or Adunze, but
no, it's Adunze.
Adunze. Okay.
I think it's Adunze, but because I've heard it said 15 different ways. Oh. Yeah, I've heard it said 15 different ways.
I heard loser, right?
You said what?
What?
Yeah. But yeah, loser.
Michigan.
That's what
you had it set for W for one ball.
And you W for one ball?
You should have had it set for M for Michigan.
But no, supposedly that would be on number 2, which I'll be honest here. If you do that, hear me out now.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
I'm not mad at it.
If you do that, and then let's say you send Justin Fields, hey, if you can send him not at maybe Atlanta, if you can get him Atlanta or even Tennessee, and you draft yourself an offensive lineman,
I would never send him to Tennessee. I would never.
No, but I'm just saying because both those are top 10 and they both need quarterbacks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But if you want to say Atlanta too with the 8th pick, hey, you do that, and now all of a sudden you got Caleb Williams. You got an offensive lineman, whoever you want to really throw out there, whether it's Joe Ulu from Penn State. Mm-hmm. If you want him, whatever, you get an offensive lineman, and now you got a 1-2 punch in Caleb Williams. Sure, you missed out on Marvin, but you got the next best thing in Rome, if Rome is your second place, I'm not too mad.
Let me tell you why, though, it would be Drake May and not Caleb Williams. And listen,
we're moving on.
No, we're not. We're not, though. But here's the problem.
No, I know why, because you look like him.
What? Why does everybody say that about every North Carolina fucking quarterback? They all Sam Howell, Mitch Trubisky.
You look like him.
This kid doesn't even have a beard. What are we talking about? Is he just naming white kids?
You look like him.
You're just naming non-talented white kids and saying I look like them. You're right. No. But anyway, the point of that though is Ryan Poles said it this afternoon again. That we're not going to leave any stone left unturned. He fucked up when he said it, which made me laugh. He had to stutter and he had to fix how he said it. I was like, you fucked it. If I was in that presser, I would have been like, no, don't do shit. Talk to me. But no, last year we traded back from, I believe, number 9 again to number 10, or it was something along those lines. to purposely not draft Jalen Carter. And the reasoning for that from Ryan Poles wasn't because of the allegations. It wasn't because of what happened. It was because of the character. And he talked about it again today. We are big on humans. We are big on people who we're bringing into this building. And he has been very vocal about this draft class having a lot of guys with a lot of egos. And that's something he's obviously not attracted to. You know, he would prefer – listen, the reality is this. 10 years from now, bearing outside factors or injuries, we will look at that and say, damn, we should have drafted Jalen Carter instead of Darnell Wright. I love Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright was a great tackle for us this year. I think he's making great strides, but Jalen Carter was one of the better.
He's a monster. Forget rookies. He was one of the best.
He's just a dog. So when you look at that, Ryan Poles isn't an idiot. Ryan Poles, if you would agree, or maybe you don't, has constructed a pretty good defense and a pretty good roster. I mean, number one in interceptions, number one run-stopping defense. They knew what they were doing. If you saw Jalen Carter, you can't sit here and tell me that he didn't see what everybody else saw. We all saw it. Now, the problem –
he saw more.
Right. He saw the issues.
Or at least acknowledged more.
Right. He saw the issues, and he saw what that could potentially be. If you go to Philly, there's veterans, there's stability, there's a culture. You go to Chicago, you think Jalen Carter is going to listen to Matt Eberflus talk? You think TJ Edwards is going to come up to him and Jack Sanborn is going to say, get the fuck out?
But to be fair here, another thing too, but not to control, but here's another thing. When you're winning, that also matters too. So not only do you got veterans in there that, like, you got the AJ Browns, the Jason Kelce's of the world, that tells you, Fletcher Cox, chill out. But then you winning also, you say what?
Mainly Fletcher though. AJ and Kelce been kind of different this year. I will say that. But AJ's been negatively vocal. He's on his George Pickens arc, and then Kelce's just poster boy right now. So.
Well, yeah, you're right about AJ Brown for sure. Yeah, he getting into his thing, but he's not there yet.
The ball, all right. Devontae's like, dude, my job is yours. Like,
facts, bro.
My point in all that though, Pride, is like, so when I say it would be Drake May or Jaden Daniels or Michael Penix, any of them, really, I truly believe that because of what we saw from Caleb Williams this year alone. If you would have told me this was a year ago, let's say a year ago when Caleb wins the Heisman, he is crying with Lincoln Riley. He's a poster boy of an amazing human.
Mom, you're the MVP.
I would have said, man, that's right. We're going to draft Caleb Williams. But after what we saw this season, you can't tell me that Ryan Poles, who's been so vocal about egos and being a better human and being a leader, a guy who quit on his team 4-6 games into the season, caring more about his endorsements, wanting ownership at the age of 12 in a team he gets drafted to, it's not happening, bro. That's my thing.
I do think a lot of those things are taken out of context, but
a lot of them aren't, though.
You said what?
There are some, like most definitely, but a lot of them aren't. Like we saw physically them being down in those games. Here's one side of the offense, all sitting on the bench, and then by himself on the other side.
No, don't do that. Stop. No. I'm not gonna let you get away with that.
I'm getting away with it.
And this is the part that people like you, I call you guys weirdos. And let me explain why.
Why are you by yourself?
Because if it's Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality, you fucking goofies. If it's Kobe Bryant, you guys are deep throating him. Yeah. If that's Luka, oh man, this is MVP arc. If it's John Moran, the hoodlum is thinking about doing shit.
I love John.
If it's Caleb Williams, he's like, no, I don't want to hear none of that.
It matters. It matters when it's 2v1. And
no.
And I'm not sitting there talking about. I've always been vocal about, like, me and you have conversations about it. There's the Rob Scotts. I love Rob Scott. That's my brother. We got welcome.
Yes, sir, Robbie. Right? By the way, check out Mars. By the way, Mike and Rob show.
Thank you, sir. But I will say this: Kobe in Rob's eyes can do no wrong. I love Rob, but Kobe can do no wrong. Kobe did some wrong. Like, I forgot the one interview. I forgot who it was, but like 2 years we played together. He did not talk to that man once. Like, you're fucking.
Remember when he was on his Ben Roethlisberger arc?
Man. That's anyways.
Fuck.
Anyways, but yeah, I just think, like, I'm not okay with that whenever anybody does it. Even if you're the face, even if you're this.
I don't mind that.
I mind it. I'm
gonna tell you why. I don't mind it. I'm gonna tell you why I don't mind it.
4 games into the season, why don't you mind it?
I'm gonna tell you why. I don't care if it's 4 games. I don't care if it's 4 years. I don't care if it's 4 decades. There are moments where every quarterback has been like, I need to go up to the side and I need to get myself together.
Every game.
Yes. Sometimes guys have that every game. Sometimes. He did those for 4 games. What you didn't see, what no one showed you, was after that, he would go to his teammates and then he would address them in a calm manner. Be like, yo, we all got to do better. He didn't just come yelling at them. He would go up to the side, be like, yo, let me chill the fuck out. Let me breathe. Let me woosah. Okay? I got myself together. Goes, talks to them, and then all of a sudden, everyone is now on one page. So no, and now if he's doing that and then running onto the field, throwing something, then coming back to the sideline and like ignoring him, you got me. But when he's having these moments of frustration. If he's putting himself, you said what?
Bro gave up on his team, bro.
I don't know about all that now.
Bro gave up on it. Bro won a Heisman, came back next year an asshole.
No.
Come on, bro.
No. Okay.
Amazing talent.
No, I wouldn't say he came back an asshole. No, he didn't come back an asshole. He came back with, okay, this is what we had. They hit some struggles that they did not expect to hit. And when he hit those struggles, instead of going and yelling at everyone in a derogatory form, what did he do? Go out to the side. Let me chill out. Okay, I'm checked. Then he goes to his teammates and goes, all right, boys, we all got to get it together.
Bro,
not just me, not just you. I have no problem with that.
Williams person.
You said what?
I'm the number 1 hater of Caleb Williams. I promise you.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
And it's strictly because of Fields. If I had the number 2 pick, I wouldn't care.
Okay, I feel you. Okay. All right, I feel you.
Okay.
But no, I just don't get that narrative about him, because what they didn't what they were showing was the kid would go to them and then pick everybody up, and then they're back on the field high-fiving, kumbaya. They're all good, and it's not because he was just being a dickhead. So it was just he didn't want to yell. Now, if he's just on the sideline pouting and doesn't talk to anyone,
right,
goes on the field, then goes back, we got a completely different.
That's kind of the conversation, though. Is when it's time to work, it's time to work. But when it's time to be off the field, he's by himself.
Right, but that wasn't all the time.
Felt like it.
Because that's all they showed you.
It felt like it.
Because think about it. They weren't showing him on the sideline when he's throwing touchdowns and he's high-fiving and he's talking with the lineman. They weren't showing that. They zoned in on him if they went 3 and out, if he threw a pick. That's you see what I'm saying? That's what they would show you off by himself.
I think people notice it, though. You know what I mean? Like, people understand the commercials. People understand everything that comes with it. And, hey, bro, fuck it. Get the bag. Like, I don't care. Like, who talked about it the other day? Travis Kelce talked about it. I filmed a commercial in June during the offseason. I filmed 5 of them, and they don't play them until September. So it looks like I'm not doing anything but do commercials. But, yeah, I get it. Like, I completely understand getting your bag, especially at 18. But, like, there's been a lot of different conversations of, if certain teams draft me, I'm not going to play there, and all these other things.
That right there, I'm not going to defend.
That's what I'm telling you, though.
That one right there, you got me right there.
Because Dad talking about the ownership in the team and all the other stuff, and you're just kind of sitting there, and you're like, bro, what are we talking? So from what I see, right, with my eyes, you separate yourself from the team when things happen. Okay, you can make whatever you want out of that. That's fine. Now you're talking all these other things. And then when someone asks you when you lost a game, what do you want to do? You said, I want to go home and hug my dog. That's not Chicago. I'm sorry. You want to go to Wyoming? Go for it. I promise you.
So you want to go home and hug his dog?
I want to go home and hug my dog.
How's that bad?
Bro, if I just lost the biggest game of the year and they said, Caleb,
where do you want to go? I want to go somewhere I want to go to a place where I get comfort because I feel like shit right now.
Man, dude, I don't want this PC principal ass pride right now.
It's not PC principal. Hold on, it's not PC principal.
If Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl in year 1, right? You're in the Super Bowl. You're in the heat of it. You're in the darkness. A young pride is excited. He has his Eric Bledsoe jersey on with a crossed off Bledsoe, and he wrote Brady. And then in the post game interview after Tom Brady lost by 40, Pride goes, Tom, what do you think went wrong? I don't know. I just want to go home and hug my dog right now.
I don't blame him.
Pride, you're an asshole, bro.
I'm not. No, as a fan, yes, I would be upset. Don't get it twisted. I would be mad and upset. But you just lost the biggest game of your career up until that point.
If that's the answer you gave me, I'm fighting somebody.
Negative.
Somebody.
That is the equivalent. Okay, so by your logic, if a guy
that might be
goes,
how you feel. That's not what you say when you're QB1, bro. That's like a rock.
What are you supposed to say? Tell me. What am I supposed?
Aren't you aware? You're supposed to use your Jalen Hurts Bible book, pick a verse.
No.
Put it on your Instagram.
Mike. You are Caleb Williams.
Right.
You got smacked by 40. And I ask you, yo, where do you go from here? What do you say? What went wrong? What do you say?
You go back to work. Go back to work. Game plan.
Okay. And I'm PC.
Not at all. That's the fact. Listen, we fucked up, right? This is what we did. This is what we tried to do. This is how we tried to execute it. It didn't work. We have to get back on the drawing board to get back to where we want to be. That's all you gotta say. Instead, you're funny as fuck. You're making jokes after the Notre Dame game. Like, what are we talking about? Not you, but him. You know what I mean? Like, the biggest game.
No, but you gotta understand. That's how some people handle it. Yeah, he gonna make Courtney Jones, but at the same time, think about it like this.
Patrick Mahomes lose a game. What the fuck he say?
It's the refs. The refs should have let us break the rules.
There's so many different ways that people handle it, and I can let a lot slide. If you're a sore loser, that's fine. If you're nonchalant, that's fine. If you're respectfully to the Bible, if you're Jalen Hurts and you just close your eyes and pick a verse and then put it on your Instagram with motivational David Goggins music in the background, that's fine.
Nah, buddy, I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm over it, bro.
When he was in Alabama, back when he had the dreads, when who was it? Was it Penn State? No, who was it? Vanderbilt. It was Vanderbilt. We got Alabama next, and we show you how we play SEC football. He said that. He said it so sassy. And then this motherfucker tries to sound so smart. Hypothetically, we are. Theoretically, we are. He said something like that. I'm like, dummy. No, it's not theoretically. Right. It's not. It's you got them next on your schedule. Right. It's literally that's the word you were looking for.
Right.
But but look, okay.
But the Caleb stuff, I mean, listen, like Caleb is one hell of a talent. I will say that, bro. Like, and we're always cool with agreeing to disagree because it all filters in Justin Fields for me. Like it's True. Nothing personal. It's literally like if instead
of Justin Fields,
if it was Mitch Trubisky,
if Mitch Trubisky was in there, you would have been cool.
I'd be cool with Caleb Williams. It'd be due for change, but you cannot sell me on we are due for change yet when this kid has been an anomaly. This kid has been a monster. And when I say anomaly, I mean for the Chicago Bears organization who in 1985 won a Super Bowl with a quarterback who can only see out of one eye. A white man who was just drunk all the time, and Jim McNair. Shout out to him, Bears legend. He embodies Chicago. But bro, it's 2024, man. Like you have a generational talent here, and that's what he is. Is he going to be a generational player? I don't know, but that is a generational talent. Not everybody can do what he does. So to just look at that and say you're not good enough for us. Who are you? Who's talking to me right now? Who's telling me that Justin Fields isn't good enough for the Chicago Bears organization? Bro, what? We had Josh McCown, Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, Jay Cutler, and Mitch Trubisky, Kyle Orton, and Rex Grossman over the last 30 years. And this fucking kid rushes over 1,000 yards a year, has the fucking David Goggins mindset. And you're sitting here and you're going to tell me, yeah, bro, we're too good for you. We want the Chick-fil-A kid. What the fuck? What?
I get it.
Just so Caleb Williams can tell me that DJ Moore isn't a good wide receiver. Crazy.
That'd be bugging.
Crazy.
Before we move on, Matt Eberflus, you guys have quadrupled down on him and said, hey, this is our guy of the future. This guy will lead us into the valley. Ain't no valley.
My favorite song.
I know. You about to be singing it, babes. You about to be singing it in an ironic way. Would you have kept him?
I wouldn't have hired him. I never would have hired him.
Remember when he got hired and you were trying so hard to be optimistic and you were just fighting it?
No, not at all.
I remember when you
remember exactly how I was pissed.
Yep. You were mad and you were like, I'm hoping it works. And you're like trying to force optimism.
I was like, I literally said it I was like, maybe he's a great defensive coordinator. Cool. Bro, first, I was always Brian Dable all the way. That was no secret. I literally said the man looked like a Mike Ditka sausage every single day. Like he looks like he eats 12 of them. And the way the Giants just slander him in the presser, oh my God. They just talk to that man like he fat boy cousin number 5. I mean, damn, maybe making fat jokes left and right about my guy Brian. We could do better out here. But it's just crazy. We'd be saying bullshit. But I think at the end of the day, man, I don't. Again, like respectfully, Ryan Poles is one hell of a guy. Kevin Warner is respected throughout the Big Ten and throughout the NFL. But I question whose decision it is. Because throughout the entire history, the McCaskey family and Virginia McCaskey, who is over 101 now, shout out to her, happy belated birthday, is, trying to keep the George Halas, 85 Bears, monster of the Midway mentality. We run through defense. We play smash mouth football. That's cool, bro. Like, I hear you. It's 2024. Stop it. Like, we're Pride, take a walk with me. Close your eyes. The Chicago Bears won 5 of their last 7 games. Now, in this time, we led the league in interceptions and defensively, not in offensively. Justin Fields looked a lot better. DJ Moore looked great. Cole Kmet was great. And then you see a team that's number 1 at run-stopping defense. So cool. The teams you beat, though, Pride. You ready for these? You beat the Carolina Panthers. You beat the Minnesota Vikings without Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
You beat the Atlanta Falcons. You beat the Arizona Cardinals. Okay. And then you got one quality win against Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions because you caught him slipping. I'll give you got it. That's one good win. The rest are games you should have won because they're dog shit too. What are we talking about? Like, and you're gonna sit here and tell me that but we beat Minnesota too. Do you know what he was in the division as a head coach? 0-9. He started his career as a Chicago Bear 3-19. You won 5 games. Here's what's crazy. You're gonna sit up here today, not you, but just listening. If you're a Justin Fields hater, you're gonna sell me that Flus won his job over in the second half of this season, but Justin didn't. So why did the last 8 games matter for Flus but not for Justin? Make that make sense.
That's a good. You got it.
So we're just gonna pretend like this man wasn't 3-19. That back-to-back first-round picks, back-to-back top 10 picks. You're going to sit here and tell me that he didn't hire 2 coaches, Alan Williams and the other motherfucker who was a running backs coach, David something, who got fired mid-season for HR issues. The guys you hired for HR issues. Then you got Luke Getsy, another guy you hired who held Aaron Rodgers' jockstrap in Green Bay, ran the ball 6 times in a row against Green Bay, looked at you in the face and said, sorry, bro, that's all I got. So you made those hire. Ryan Poles didn't hire those coordinators. That's your coaching staff. You hired 2 fucking weirdos and one guy who might be, as I'd like to say, acoustic. Because I can't say the other words. Like, you're actually
holy go, my God. That's wicked though.
That's wicked as fuck. And I'm John Wick in this bitch. I'm airing out everybody in their shit. Because for you to go up there in that press conference today and somebody, by the grace of God on that Bears beat, finally had balls. Because all they want, the entire time, all they fucking talked about was Justin Fields and the number 1 pick. Not one person looked at him straight in his shit and said, why is that goofy motherfucker still here? Not one person. I got nicknames for all the players. Yeah, I got a nickname for you too, Jagoff. Fucking asshole. That's what you are. But it's crazy to me. A guy finally goes, hey, what about Jim Harbaugh? Ryan Poles looked disrespected. What about Jim Harbaugh? What do you mean? What about Jim Harbaugh? Like, he's available. Did you have any conversations? No, we didn't talk to anybody. Palooza is my guy. So you're gonna tell me, as a Chicago Bears coach with Justin Fields and the number 1 overall pick, Pete Carroll was going to be available, which you knew about. Mike Vrabel was available. Eric Bieniemy, Ben Johnson, Bill Belichick could be potentially available, and Jim Harbaugh. You looked at yourself dead in the face, dead in your shit, and told me, Flus is my guy.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
Crazy.
Chicago got a lot of work to do. The Bears do.
And we'll see if I'm there for it.
We'll see. Because
you want me to make that claim on here? So you got tape on it, Pride?
Go ahead.
Listen, Step one is already done. I said if you keep Flus and trade Justin Fields, I'm gone.
We got him.
I'm gone.
We got him.
Unless it makes like complete and utter sense. Like this needs to be.
You're
like,
talking about like a situation like you said, you trade Justin, but you still got another top 10 pick.
Yeah,
and you
trade.
keep,
If you tell me we got a 3rd round pick for him,
you're out.
what? Like if you got a 3rd
Now,
round pick,
are you out or?
I'm gone. I'm good. Like 24 years, bro. 24. Let me break this down for you. How many offensive coordinators do you think have spent more than 2 years in Chicago since 1985?
4.
2.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
And they sucked. What are we talking about? So that's where I'm at. I don't deserve this. No one does. We ride with them because that's our dogs. We love the culture. We love the fan base. We love what they've built. But I'm gonna break this down for you in the way that can make it make sense. Now, if you're political, I'm sorry, but this is just how I'm going. The construction workers that built Trump Towers, masterpiece. That building is beautiful. That building is flawless. Now, the shit that's running in Trump Towers, that's some bullshit, man. So I don't care what you built, what you stand on.
Yes, sir.
I ain't standing on that. We ain't gonna disrespect JF1. I ain't even trying to be a fanboy. Where that boy go, I follow. That's it. Period.
I feel you. But from one frustration to the next. By the way, there's some NBA games going on tonight. Just kind of wanted to throw that out there.
I'm excited.
So as of right now, Spurs at Pistons. Spurs are winning 54-44.
Oh my god.
Kings at Hornets. Their Kings are winning 71-59. Timberwolves at Celtics. They're losing. Celtics are winning 52-48. Wizards at Pacers. Wizards are winning 48-46. 76ers at Hawks. Hawks are winning 26-24. Thunder at Heat. Heat are winning 29-23.
Damn right they are.
There's an 8:30 game, Pelicans at Warriors, and a 10 o'clock game, Nuggets at Jazz, and the 10:30 tip-off, Raptors at Clippers. There's one game I'm missing. 8 o'clock. Rockets at Bulls. I told you I had a surprise question I was going to drop on you because I kind of want to get your gut reaction. The Bulls have went 10-7 without LaVine after a 5-14 start. Zach LaVine is back in the lineup. You know, obviously he came back to 5th, right?
Won both games.
Won both games.
Coming off the bench, though, I will say that.
And that is the point I wanted to make. He's come off the bench both games. Here's the question I pose to you. Maybe it's just me. This is the best I've seen this team this year with Zach LaVine. Him coming off the bench, everyone looks rejuvenated. Him leading the second unit makes, I don't know. If I'm wrong, you tell me, but he looks infinitely more comfortable.
Yeah.
He looks like I'm good here at this position. I feel like I can control the game the way I want to, and don't ignore the contract. I'm talking about going forward for the chemistry of this win, or for the chemistry of this team and looking for wins. I think Zach LaVine should continue coming off the bench for a minimum of 3 more weeks. And when you see all that success,
right,
I think he should continue to be the 6th man coming off their bench. Am I bugging?
Bugging for the only reason that he's still playing 30 minutes a game. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing that kind of gets me is like, yeah, he's coming off the bench, but when you're still playing 30 minutes a game and you're playing more than Caruso, who's starting, you know, you start to have those conversations about, okay, well, what are we really doing? Like, we're just not starting you and you're playing all these minutes. Like, Billy Donovan's an idiot for that because you're saying he's on minute restrictions. Now he's coming off the bench still, and he's playing 30 minutes. So what minute restriction is that? Because he was playing 30 minutes prior to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, that's a full load pause for an NBA player. But you know, unless you're like Embiid or Jokic, you know what I mean? You're playing 40 minutes a game, whatever. But with that, I mean, I want him back in the starting lineup for the simple fact of I understand we're winning without him in the starting lineup, but the trade value needs to come back up. And it matters to look at that contract because, to your point, I'm not taking $50 million a year for the next several years for a guy who's coming off the bench. You need to show everybody, and like Adrian Wojnarowski and everybody else has said, you need to show everybody that you can ball and you can play winning basketball. Now, you're not going to – no one's trading for you to come off the bench on a winning team. That's not happening, especially that exactly to why John Wall had the issues he's had. Zach LaVine is now having those issues, which is ironic because he's playing against the Rockets tonight. But, I think it's unfortunate that we're having this kind of conversation. Shouldn't be this way. Kobe White, Patrick Williams, Andre Drummond. Oh, my God. The drum lines have been insane. The man's having like 15 and 20 every night. He's been incredible. And to see them flourish, Ayo Dosunmu, all of them. I mean, it's been amazing. I'm on the biggest anti-Zach train that there ever was. I said that we should have just signed and traded him to get Donovan Mitchell from Utah, and everybody said I was bugging. But here we are today just praying that we can get something for him. We'll take Tobias Harris. We'll take Al Horford. No, keep him. You wanted him. Hey, you know where I am come April Pride. I've been rocking with Jimmy. I give no fucks. I mean, when April comes, deuces. When the Bulls, and you were, God is my witness, you were there. When Rob Scott told me, are you really going to root for the Heat in the play-in?
You say, yeah. I remember I was there live in person. You say, yeah, because Jimmy Butler. I remember.
We are going to the finals. And everyone said, you bugging. Guess what we did? We went to the finals and we got mollywopped by a white man from Europe. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm over the Zach shit, bro. Like, I'm to close it off because I know you got to go. I think the big one for me is look at what happened with James. I think the same thing is going to happen. What the 76ers did so well was understanding nobody wants James for picks. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 expiring deals and we're going to give you James Harden. Perfectly fine. Now at the end of the season, even now today, the 76ers are in a situation to where at the trade deadline, they can use those 3 expiring deals and trade for Zach LaVine. Or they can wait till the end of the year and get a free agent on a max contract. The Bulls need to be in the same situation. Either get 2 to 3 players that are going to be expiring deals, get a big-time free agent next year, or fuck it, trade for a big-time free agent. I doubt that happens, but I could see them doing the other route.
Sensational. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. Mike, babes, before we get up out of here, Mars, plug your shit.
Mars, baby. Welcome to Mars. You can find me, Rob Scott, on Welcome to Mars on YouTube because the Facebook got hacked not once, but twice, and I'm not making a third one. Somebody just deleted it both times. I don't know. Ruh-roh. I don't care. But, you can find us on Mike Hughes on Facebook or Rob Scott. We're always doing stuff over there as well. We're going to be going live later. What time is it right now? Later tonight, probably around 8 p.m.
8 p.m. what?
8 p.m. Central, sir.
So that's 9 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, sir. I forget.
Nah,
you good. I just want to make sure, I just make sure you got it. Michael, it's been a pleasure and an honor just to be in your presence.
Stop it. I'll kiss your toes. Please stop playing with me. Those sandy cheeks. Stop playing with me. But tell the missus that I said I need more pictures of pride on her Facebook. I don't see any pictures of pride. I need her Facebook profile to be pride.
I'm unlovable, so what can I say? What can I say?
Grin.
On behalf of Mike, it has been your boy Pride. I'll be back here Saturday to talk more shit about your favorite team. Until then, y'all know what it is, baby. Be safe.
Knew where that was going. That was a great read. Oh, Lillard from the logo. That'll quiet the 2 on the season.
2nd and 1 for the Bills. They handle the rush. Allen looking. End zone.
To Shohei Ohtani. Center field. Let's watch it go.
Did several of those inside low kicks.